Alright, so what is up guys? Today we'll be discussing about what are variables. Here I've written 4 questions: what, where, how, why. So we'll be discussing what are variables, where do we use them, how do we use variables, and why are we using variables. So what are variables? Variables are used for storing data. So if I were to go here and I click on this plus, I insert a part. And if I were to tell the script that this part exists in my game, I will use variables. So the syntax for using a variable, or the method of writing a variable, is you need to start with local. So whenever you want to declare or write a variable, you need to use local, and then followed by its name. You can put whatever name you want, like what, my name, something like this, or mango, whatever. So here I'll be using the name as a and followed by an equals to sign. So the equals to sign tells the Roblox Studio that you're putting a data here, and that data is assigned to the variable a, and the data we'll be putting here is, let's say, 1. So the meaning of this sentence is that I've used local, make a variable. The name of the variable is called a, and 1 is the data assigned given to the variable a. So where we can use this is, let's say I want to increase the value of a by 1, and I can just do it as a equals to a plus 1. And if I were to print the value of a, I'll just use a print keyword and run it. So here it prints 2. The reason why it prints 2 is because I've declared the variable a. This is a variable, and I've given the data 1. So in this line, it tells us that I'm changing the value of a. This is a new variable, and this is the variable that I've defined here. So it'll be a equals to 1 plus 1, which is 2. So a equals to 2. Whenever you put an equals to sign here, it means that you're putting a data to it. So since I've put an equals to sign here, it means that whatever is this, it's a data given to the variable a. And here I've printed a. So that's why it says 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 2. And I've printed a here. Alright, moving on, we can use variables to store strings. Let me declare a new variable called b, and I'm going to assign the data called my name. And here in this print statement, I will be putting b. Let me just copy this. Okay, it's there. If I were to print this, it will print my name. So you can use variables to store the value of strings. You can even use it to store the value of decimal points. I will take c equals to 0.1, and I can print c here. Let me run it again and print 0.1. Here what I can do is I can put arithmetic operations such as a plus c, and it will add the value of a and c, which is 1 plus 0.1. It should give us 1.1, and in the output it says 2.1. Yeah, my bad. Because here I've changed the value of a, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. So the new value of a is 2. If I were to delete this, it will say 1.1. Yeah, so it says 1.1. So this is the way we can initialize or create variables in our script, how we have done. So the reason why we are creating variables is because, as I've told in the starting of my video, if I were to have a part here in my game, and I want to tell the script, I want to do something with this part, I can get the address or directory or the location of the part using variables. Local part equals to workspace dot part. So the way I told the game that a part exists in the workspace is using the dot. So it means that I'm telling the game to go in the workspace service. These are all our services. All of these are called services. So I'm telling the game to go into a service, and inside the service, if I were to click this arrow, I can find part. So that's why I put the dot part. If I run it, it's not going to do anything because I have not used any print statements or whatsoever. But if I were to put an int value as the instance, and I change the value of this to 1, and I print part dot value dot value. Let me change the name of this to number. You can double click on this to rename the instance name or whatever this is. You can double click on it like this. Wait. Yeah, so if you double click on this, you can rename it like this. I'm just gonna leave it as pod. Click on this arrow and it says number. And here I will change it to number. So again, what I'm telling the computer is that, or the Roblox Studio is that inside of the pod, there is an instance or there's a object called as number, and inside of the number object there's a property called as value. So I'm printing the value of this number object inside of the pod. If I were to run this, it will say 2. So this is a application or where we can use variables in our Roblox Studio. Alright, so here I'll be just filling out what we understood. So what are we learning today? We are learning about variables, and the meaning of variables is to assign a data or tell the Roblox Studio that an object or instance exists in the game. Now moving on to where we can use it in scripts, and when we want to tell the directory or location of the object or instance that we are using in the game. What I'm saying is that if I were to tell the script that a pod exists in the game, I will use it with the help of a variable, and with the help of a variable I'll be assigning the directory or the location, which is workspace.pod, into the variable and telling the script that a pod exists in my game. So where we can use it is we can use it in scripts, and when we want to tell the directory or location of the object or instance that we are using in the game. How do we create variables? Using the local keyword. And why do we use it? Again, I've explained it in the where. We can use it in scripts and when we want to tell the directory or location of the objects or instance that we are using in the game. So let me just copy paste this. So this was a summary of variables. If you guys have any doubts or questions, you guys can reach out to me in the comment section. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye.